Everybody's familiar with the Tilt-A-Whirl. It's a carnival ride that's guaranteed to bring you stomach-churning thrills. But did you know it was invented in Faribault, Minnesota? There's no height restriction to learning more about this traditional Midway marvel.
It was one of the original rides when the park opened in 1976. It's been moved around quite a bit at the park, but it's definitely one of the rides that's stood the test of time and still is just as popular as it was then. My name's Andy. I'm the rides manager here at Valley Fair in Shakopee, Minnesota. We're standing right in front of our Tilter ride. It was recently renamed the Tilter from the Tilt-A-Whirl. I think that the Tilter ride is definitely one of the rides that's popular with all families. There's consistently a line. I would say it's definitely in the top 10 to 15 rides when it comes to when someone comes to Valley Fair, one of the rides they have to ride.
While the ride is in motion, please keep your feet on the floor and your hands on the bar in front of you. Thank you and enjoy your ride.
Tilt-A-Whirl, for most people will remember it as a ride that they were on when they were a kid. They'd go to the local carnival. The Tilt-A-Whirl is it's a big ride that has 7 cars on it, and it goes around in a circle, and it's an undulating track. And there's a car that sits on that track, and then based on how many people you have in the car and the weight of those people in the car, it spins around this way and then it spins around that way. And most people will say, oh, I know what a Tilt-A-Whirl is. I got sick on a Tilt-A-Whirl, or, oh, I had my first kiss on a Tilt-A-Whirl. The Tilt-A-Whirl was actually invented here in Faribault by a local guy named Herbert Sellner in 1926. He started originally making toys, and he slowly built his empire into actually doing carnival rides. One of the very first carnival rides that he invented was actually a toboggan type flume ride, if you will. And then he very quickly moved into the Tilt-A-Whirl. So he actually took his son and put his son up on a kitchen table, and then took the legs of the kitchen table and rocked with his son, and was watching basically for the reaction that would happen if I tilt the table this way or if I tilt the table, what's happening to, what's on top of the table. And that was way back in 1926. I have the original patent. It's an amusement apparatus designed for parks and resorts where it is desired to accommodate a large number of pleasure seekers. Will furnish pleasurable and unexpected sensations. The Tilt-A-Whirl was manufactured here in Faribault for almost 80 years. It was sold in 2011 to a company in Texas and is still manufactured today. There were at least 3 or 4 generations that it had gone through a number of family members that kept the corporation going for generations. When you say Sellner, you immediately think of Tilt-A-Whirl. In the original Sellner plant, there's still a guy there that actually refurbishes carnival rides. There's actually another gal here that has all the original decals. There had always been talked about, hey, how can we get, the Tilt-A-Whirl to be kind of more known, so when you think of Faribault, you think Tilt-A-Whirl. Just like when you think Bemidji, you think immediately Paul Bunyan. So I started talking with the gal, her name is Peggy Kylan, and she's lived here all of her life, and she said, well, I know where I can get a couple of old tubs, and maybe we could refurbish them.
So what is this?
An individual ride car from the original Tilt-A-Whirl ride. You've probably seen them at carnivals.
Yeah.
It was invented in my hometown of Faribault, Minnesota. My husband and I were sitting watching TV that very night that I'd actually secured it, and we were watching on the History Channel a program called American Restoration.
So when you operated this thing, you didn't have a carny voice going on?
No.
Come on, cowboy. Where's your carny voice?
Out of my own pocket, flew to Las Vegas. We did a filming, basically, of me coming there, dropping off the tub, and they gave me a number.
Then they've sold thousands of them, all worldwide too, right?
Absolutely, yep.
And the number was $8,500. And we were literally able to raise it within, it was 4 to 6 weeks. And again, all through community donations, everything. It was just, people were so excited about it.
Tammy's here for the Tilt-A-Whirl.
It's gorgeous. I mean, the way it gleams and shines. The colors, I think, are spot on.
It's perfect. It's just what it was.
Tilt-A-Whirl, girl, I'm seeing starry swirls. One more turn and I think I'll hurl.
There are, many uses of the Tilt-A-Whirl in current pop culture, if you will. There's a local musician named Trapper that has a song around the Tilt-A-Whirl. Bruce Springsteen has a song that mentions the Tilt-A-Whirl in it. There's an image of it in a Supernatural episode where the guys are standing literally in front of a Tilt-A-Whirl ride, and it actually is one that has the original graphic of what we call the creepy clown on the back of it. When you come to Faribault, a couple things to remember. Faribault is actually a very historic town. We are actually having the largest historic district, second only to St. Paul. And these Tilt-A-Whirls are currently bookend at either end of our downtown, one on 2nd Street, one on 5th Street, right on our Central Avenue. They're super fun to come down, just get your picture taken. It will bring back great memories for you to sit in the car, snuggle up with your honey, and have your picture taken, and it'll be a lasting memory.
Oh, there we go. That's what I like.
Good ride. Everybody started puking and started spraying over everybody around the ride.
Hang on tight and enjoy the spin.
Every year, one of the full-time ride managers has to ride every ride. Tilter is one of the, not my favorites. I really don't do well with the spinning ride. I try to spread it out over as many days as possible because those spinning rides, it can ruin my day. Honestly, I don't know where his mind was when he created it, but obviously he made a ride that's very popular. You still see it at carnivals and fairs and amusement parks all over the world.